life, this is my time. Step up, rise up, fight first, bring it on.
Mr. Greenwood, how are you? I imagine that on this dull day, you've been at home, bored, waiting for replies. But for replies from whom? Well, allow me to relieve that boredom of yours. For you replied within 24, I replied in under 10. At least at the time of recording. You make some interesting points, Mr. Greenwood. Yes, I just need to do this first. Mr. Greenwood. My audience, I will get to Lightning Fox soon enough, but when it's someone like Mr. Harry Greenwood speaking to you, you have to reply. You cannot ignore him. To do so, it may as well be a cardinal sin. Something that Lawrence probably doesn't fully understand. Feel free to use his real name. I do. It just reminds him that he's nothing special. And he's a joke of a world heavyweight champion, which I think we both agree on. I'd much rather see you with that belt. But I'd also rather much see me with that belt more. We'll get to Lightning Fox soon enough, when we've done this little chat of ours. Mr. Greenwood, you make some very interesting points. You bring up our experience and the difference in levels, and you use my name. Why are the two important? Well, you called me Joshua Snow. Who is Joshua Snow? Are you referring to me as Joshua Snow? Oh, you've not been around long enough. Clearly, if you knew who I was, you'd know that what you see here, it is certainly his body. But Remus Kane, myself. Describe it however you will, but Joshua Snow and SWF are two completely different things. He doesn't even know that he's in half of the matches that he's in. He doesn't even know what caused all those bruises on him in the morning when he wakes up the day after I've been in one of those matches. For all he knows, he just had a really bad day yesterday. So if you're ever going to refer to me in the future, it's not Joshua Snow, it's Remus Kane. Joshua Snow is a weak, stunted individual who I really wish I didn't have to be a part of. And Remus Kane is the best there is and the best there ever will be. Come on, you. Yes, you. Yes, I'm back with my dog again. Yes, as much as I don't like being a human, I have to do my human activities as well. Except Sky's not a normal dog, as I've already made clear on many an occasion. Sky is the kind of dog who would love nothing more than to rip your arms off, feast on the marrow in your bones, and use the bones themselves as toothpicks. She's not a normal dog. Neither is Lottie, the older of the two, the more experienced hunter of the two. Don't be fooled by their cute visage. Right now they're just looking for something to eat. She'll find something soon enough. Going back to the experience thing though, you stated your very, very long career. You've stated that you built backyard wrestling yourself. You did you? Oh, it was you who built backyard wrestling. Forgive me, I must be confusing you for the people who actually did it over in America. For the people who actually made this into something and you just based it off of what they did. Don't try and pretend that you're anything innovative. You're just simply carrying on a tradition from far better people. For example, the Insane Clown Posse. They may not be the best wrestlers in the world, but by God, in terms of backyard wrestling, there's very few who compare. What was another? Was it Danny Havoc? I think it was Danny Havoc. Yes, the one who's most recently retired. He was a backyard wrestler once, until he transitioned into blood matches and blood wrestling, hardcore style, something that I think you would appreciate. Experience means nothing when it comes to me. Because what it takes for you to learn in 20 years, I only need to learn in 1. You've just had more time, perhaps, to perfect what you've learned. But I'm a very quick learner, Mr. Greenwood. It doesn't take me long to be able to know what works and what doesn't. And believe me when I say I've found what works quite quickly. I'll post the actual video so people know just what it is that I'm talking about. Here we go.
I made a video 2 days ago directed to you, Crimson, and you, Side Splitter, but it was someone else who got my attention. They replied way before you did. It's not even been 24 hours since the video was actually posted. And boom, there's a video on YouTube by you, Joshua Snow, aka Remus Kane. You are a former IC champion and you're a former SWF Sheffield champion. But you debuted in March 2019. You've got 1 year under your belt. Whereas me, I'm a 15-year veteran in this game. I started training when I was age 5. And now here I am, 20 years old, and I'm 15 years of experience. Overall, I have won 43 championships, and I have all them under my belt. I am a 22-time world champion. No one in the backyard world has accomplished what I have accomplished. I had my own company and we ran wild. I do stuff that no one thought they would ever see in the backyard wrestling, and I made it what it is today. So when I come to SWF, I'm going to show you, and I'm going to show your little crony, Robert Caro, exactly what I am about. Exactly what the EMW has made me and what we were made to be 5 years ago. We blew up. It was all over the YouTube. No one was better than us. And at the end of the day, Sheffield Wrestling Federation wants to go on like they own Harry Greenwood. See, I came to help you out. Yeah, I've got the support of the fans. But the thing is, this is not for them this time. I said it in the last video, I'm doing this for me. So Remus Kane, you butted your nose into business where you did not belong. You want to run your mouth and say that you have a lot what it takes to be me. You say you've had me on your radar, but you ain't been on my radar. I'm way too high, you're down here. I am a veteran, I'm a legend. The guy that I called out Crimson, he even proved to you that I'm known. I made a video sending for him and he complimented me. I have never seen anything like that in this game. That is respect. I have respect for you, Crimson, but you are under my belt. I am above you. I am a legend. You are a legend. I am a record breaker. You are yet to be a record breaker. I am the king. You are a prospect. But you see, we are 2 and 1. We are both hardcore veterans and we are both extreme at what we do. We have the passion. So, you got you, the demon. Crimson, you made an offer to me which I can't refuse. Because I want to team with you, Crimson. We are going to team. I accept your offer. It will be you, Crimson, and the EMW champion, Harry Greenwood, to take on the fucking society. The society. What name is that? Who are the society? They ain't made a name for themselves yet. but I have. So for the first time ever, it'll be the Society versus Harry Greenwood teaming up with Crimson. And at the end of the day, it's going to be a spectacular. But first, I have a match with you, Crimson, and we are going to make history. We are going to have an absolute chaotic match. Two legends, two hardcore icons are going to go one-on-one for the very first time, and it is going to be magnificent. It is going to be hell-raising. It is going to break the roof of the entire place. We are going to use everything that we can get our hands onto, and as you just saw, the Flaming Fist will be involved in that. A lot of things have been said about my Flaming Fist, but you see, Remus, not only you are going to experience the Flaming Fist, Robert De Caro, you are going to get it too. I am going to hit you so hard with that Flaming Fist, it is going to disintegrate that bacterial beard of yours. Now let me take it to side split. You are yet to reply. But I don't expect you to, because you are in your own little world. You think you're better than everyone, you think you don't have to reply. But you see, the thing is, when I do take you on, you are going to realise exactly who Harry Greenwood is. I am a true wrestler to the core, and I'm a hardcore veteran, and I'm going to show you exactly what I do. I am going to put you through so many tables you ain't ever going to walk again, and I'm going to make sure you walk out of SWF with your tail between your legs and your head hanging low, regretting ever bringing Harry Greenwood to SWF. I'm a free agent, but when I come to SWF, I am SWS owner, because I might not be the owner, but at the end of the day, I'm on top of your game. Your company is now under threat, and that is a warning and a promise to everyone who wrestles underneath your belt. Because I don't wrestle for you, I wrestle for me. I wrestle for the people who put money in your pocket, who put views on your channel. But you are yet to please your fans. You don't give your fans what they want, you force yourself down your fans. How could you do that? Your fans are what made you are today. My fans made me what I am today. They built me from the ground up with support. They carried me on their back, and if it wasn't for them, I wouldn't be a 42-time champion, a 13-time world heavyweight champion, no, 13-time EMW champion, a 6-time world champion. Overall, I am the best. I've said it before and I'll say it again. Side splitter, you are here. I'm here. Crimson, you're a bit higher, but I'm still way above you, my friend. Remus came. I saw your little video. He's walking with your little doggy behind your back. That is the only person you have. Hell, not even a person, bro. The only person you have is your little lapdog, Robert De Caro, the man of destiny. I've seen your work. Yeah, right. You ain't the best. You ain't nothing compared to me. You ain't nothing compared to Crimson. We are going to run through you like you are nothing. You are dog shit on the bottom of my shoe. You ain't nothing to me. So I am the best in the world. You are a piece of shit. So when I come to SWF, I am going to show you that I ain't no game. I am the hardcore legend. I'm Harry Greenwood. It has only took me 24 hours to reply. Let's see how long it takes you to reply. I want to reply from you, Crimson. I ain't waiting no longer. I want to reply by tomorrow. Because at the end of the day, I'm Harry Greenwood. I am the former owner of EMW. And I am the greatest thing to ever come out of that company. So after this pandemic, it is on. It will be me versus Crimson. I have a match proposal for you. I want it to be an Iron Man match. Or I want it to be a hardcore, no stipulation, no rules, hardcore last man standing match. And then after that, we will unite. For the first time ever, we will come together and we will take on the society. And we will show them that they ain't got no business being in the ESW, or in an SWF or an EMW ring. They have no business. They ain't no good tag team. We have never teamed together, but we have a lot more chemistry than them two putting their little finger. So at the end of the day, we will unite. We will take on the society, and we will end the society. And then I'll move on to my opponent's side splitter. And who knows, maybe we'll meet again. Maybe we'll team again. Or maybe or just maybe I'll end your career, Crimson. But I'm telling you now, in that encounter that we have, it won't be you walking out, Crimson. The winner of that match will be no other than the EMW champion and the new hardcore champion of the SWF, Harry Greenwood. I'm here to take over, and I'm here to prove I will be leaving SWF with the SWF championship, with a hardcore title, the EMW championship, and SWF. Harry Greenwood is out. I'm coming.
You say you're going to win that match between the society and yourself and Crimson. I find it odd, now that I think about it, that you two should team in the first place. After all, are you not disputing each other on who is the more hardcore of the two of you? To me, it just seems like you're stamping out a voice which you feel shouldn't have made its voice known. But if you knew my resume, you know that's what I do. I poke my nose into other people's business because it's my business to know other people's business. That's why you were on my radar. Everyone else couldn't have given two fucks about who you were, up until you made that video, and up until I made my own. People didn't know who you were. Sure, Crimson did, and I'm sure that a few others in SWF did, like Lawrence. But what about the generation that actually matters? The generation of wrestlers who have come in now. Connor Cage didn't know you. Rob Van Helsing didn't know you. Daniel Banner doesn't know you. Maybe Robert DeCaro knew you? I don't know. What I'm trying to say is that you're not as big a deal as you think you are. You're not as big a deal as you like to put yourself across as. You managed to become an icon in backyard wrestling. Fine. Take that title. Do you know what I'm going to become, if I'm not already there? I'm going to become an icon in, wait for it, wrestling. That's right. Not just backyard wrestling. I'm going to become an icon in all forms of wrestling. Whether that be professional, whether that be deathmatch wrestling, it doesn't matter what kind of wrestling it'll be. I'll make sure to top all of them. That's where my ideals are. You use something that I found quite interesting to compare people to yourself. You put yourself up here and then put everyone else below you. In terms of ambition, you're about here. As for me, I'm up here and farther beyond. Sure, have your experience, have your belts, sure, why not? Have them. It doesn't mean fuck all to someone like me. Wrecking Ball, he has more experience than a lot of people that I've ever faced. I still laid him out. I still proved that I was better than him. The 5-on-5 at Apocalypse, sorry, you won't know about that because clearly you've not been researching my resume. You say you have. You say you've had a quick look, but if you knew, you'd know that I am still the Sheffield champion, not the former, still the Sheffield champion, as well as the Cruiserweight champion, as well as a 24/7 champion at one point, and the uncrowned Intercontinental champion. Let's get that right. Uncrowned Intercontinental champion. I have won the majority of my matches against some of the biggest names, quote unquote, in SWF. That 5-on-5 I was referring to, let's put it this way. The other team had far more experience than the team that I had assembled together. It was me, the Hood, Drac Nightwing, Kieran Hayes, and Doomsday. On the other team, it was Lawrence the Bitch, Crimson the Fake Demon, his little brother Crisis, Luke Tyler, and Daniel Banner, the worst wrestler there is in SWF. At that time, Daniel Banner was the Cruiserweight champion. At that time, Luke Tyler was the pretender of the Intercontinental Champion. At that time, Crisis and Crimson are the tag team champions. Crisis was the UK champion. Crimson was the hardcore champion. And whilst he was not that at this point, Side Splitter would go on to become the World Heavyweight Champion at the next event at Jingle Bell Brawl. And he's also the owner of the company. I was the only champion in my group. The Sheffield champion. And you know what? We beat their asses left, right and centre. We won. Yeah, the team with less experience, as you like to point out in your videos a lot. We won. You see, experience only counts for so much. If your experience is shit, then what good is it to you? If your experience means nothing, what good is it to you? See, the experience that I have, the professionalism that I have, what I bring to the table is far better than what anybody else could have ever brought to the table. I am not just a throwaway gimmick. I am the best there ever was and the best there ever will be. And Robert DeCaro, you take him so lightly. If you knew your bit about him, you'd know that he was also a former Intercontinental Champion. He was also a former World Champion. But due to Lawrence being the little bitch that he is, we didn't like him being there. Why? Because he was going off to the world of professional wrestling. The place where I'm going to be going. And unfortunately for SWF, I ain't going to be leaving. I'm going to be doing that as well as backyard wrestling. So if anything, I'm putting in twice the amount of effort. Like I've already said. So Mr. Greenwood, allow me to correct you on those facts. Because I feel like champion to champion, you need to know the truths. And I'm more than happy to allow you to know these truths. You say you know my resume. You know what I'm like inside the ring and outside of it, if I so choose to be. James Westney broke his leg just because he lost that World Heavyweight Championship to the little bitch Lawrence. Dylan Pickin gouged out his eye for daring to put his hands on my Sheffield title. Daniel Banner, back when I was in Alliance 76, the amount of shit that he said about me, triple powerbombed him straight into the dirt. You go on about almost breaking your neck. You go on about your fatherhood. Whilst I am not one to usually say anything negative towards fatherhood, as I am one day looking to be a father myself, breaking your neck is one of the biggest risks in wrestling. You need only look at one of the most infamous cases there ever was, Owen Hart. And you know exactly what I mean when I say his name. If you have any respect for the sport at all. It becomes a part of the quota. Tommaso Ciampa. Let's look at a recent one. Tommaso Ciampa. He was a very similar case to you as well. He almost broke your neck. He almost broke his neck. But guess what? He recovered. He got better. And you know what? It's good that you've come back. It's good that you've come back into the world of wrestling, because now you can see how things have changed. You see, you had your era. Let's look at EMW for a second. You had your era. EMW had its era, and it had its apex, what we call the zenith. Let's look at EMW as an empire. All empires have their zenith, the height of their power. And then it started to crumble. Then it started to fade. And eventually it became a distant memory. And you came back wondering where it had all gone. That's the difference between me and you. You had your zenith. You had your rise, and now you are on your decline, whether you like it or not. And there are only a few choices that you can make to curtail that. Unless you take the drastic action, that's how it will remain. You on the decline. Meanwhile, the society, a name which you for some reason decided to take the piss out of, unbeknownst to me, there have been many societies in the past, and all of them quite successful. We are still on our rise. We're going to continue to rise because that is what the society is all about. Bringing together the best that there is of the wrestling world and creating something fantastic. You know, if you hadn't declared yourself an enemy, I may have extended you an olive branch, asked you to join us. After all, you fit the criteria. Let's look at Robert De Caro for a second. I'm sorry I need to bring this up. But when I first encountered Robert De Caro, he was declining. He was starting to lose his edge. He still had that ferocious fire inside of him that meant that he still wanted to continue in wrestling. But Lawrence and the others had almost killed it. And then I stepped in. And I changed him. And I made him better, and now he is back on the rise like he was meant to be. All because of the society. All because of me. And now he is going to become far greater than he ever would have been as the man of destiny. You can complain about me putting my nose into other people's business all you want. I'm still going to do it. I'm still going to make strides in backyard and professional wrestling, and I'm going to become the best damn wrestler there ever will be. And there's not a single thing that you can do to stop that. You accepted our challenge. Well, we accepted yours. Who did make the challenge? I don't remember. But all we know that is going to happen now is that there's going to be a tag team championship. Well, sorry, a tag team match. Maybe we'll get to a tag team championship match in the future. But there's one question I want to know, and one question I'm going to leave this video on. Are you going to walk in as the hardcore champion as well? Or is Crimson going to walk in as the hardcore champion? I guess we'll wait to find out. See who's truly the most hardcore between you. Psst! Guess what? It's me! Ah, dear. But remember, ladies and gentlemen, leave a like, share and subscribe. And click the bell icon down below so you can stay updated with all future videos. I'll get to Lightning Fox eventually. Just be patient. I had more important individuals to discuss. And I remember a little conversation that I had with Kieran Hayes. Hello there. Don't worry, I don't think you are a pretender. I just think you have what's mine. A little bit later on tonight, I'm going to detail the outlines of what that match with you and Joel will be. I refuse to call him by his new name now. The only time he could ever get me to call him his new name is if he gains enough respect from me. But that'll be all for today's video. And I'll see you all in the next episode.